Okay. So, I don't know which way to go with this. It just, I have to make this decision, and it's.
Oh, I know you're talking about the car again.
No, the heck with the car.
No.
I'm wondering what the show should be called, a schmooze or a schmooch?
I thought it was schmooshing. Smooshing.
Smooshing. That doesn't make sense. It's got to be a schmooze or smooch.
Yes, I was
one
thinking
or the other.
One is more like self-love and self-empathy, so that's why I was thinking the
Smooch?
smooching.
But smooch is like you're into yourself or into kissing, right?
Well, kind of momentarily.
Do we do that? Is that something we do in life? I mean,
Mentally, we have to when we do self-check-ins.
well, most people don't do self-check-ins. They don't do anything. They don't even make a decision. They just go for it. But they don't think about a decision,
mindfulness.
right? Isn't that right?
A lot of times people are not mindful.
They should be mindful. They really should.
Uh-oh. Now that's implying wrongdoing.
No, nothing I do is wrong. Everything I do is correct. Correctamundo.
I get it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Whatever you say.
What do you mean, whatever I say? I don't think this... Anyways, there's one thing I want to say. We're live from Santa Barbara. It's a Compassionate Connection show.
Sweet compassion when my soul's in need. I find compassion for friends and enemies. My own compassion is where my spirit breathes.
Live from Santa Barbara, welcome to Compassionate Connection. I'm your hostess, Gigi Amour.
Gigi.
And the purpose of our show is really to share with you how to connect compassionately within ourselves and with others when we choose to learn to communicate effectively by gaining the knowledge of nonviolent communication, the language of peace, the language of life. We can transform and enrich our own personal lives and relationships and have a more wonderful world. And I'd love now to reflect on the creator, the founder of this language of life, Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, and his most popular best-selling book is now being published in 24 languages, and his organization, excuse me, the Center for Nonviolent Communication is active in 54 countries. And what he has taught us is that all of our human being needs are universal, and that's what we're all trying to gain, getting our needs met continuously. And I'd just like to acknowledge that Dr. Rosenberg also recognized the fact that he was awarded a Doctor of World Peace degree a few years back. And so with that being said, we're going to be going into introducing our guest, Rick Goodfriend, who is a teacher of nonviolent communication, effective communication. And Rick, thanks for having fun with us tonight.
Oh, we're
so
just
far,
starting.
so good.
We're just starting.
I know.
This is going to be a great show tonight because we're going into not empathizing with somebody else, but also empathizing with ourselves. So really the undiscovered country that we are, everybody's undiscovered really, and everybody's different. And so today we're going to find a way to really figure ourselves out. And the way you figure yourself out is different than how I'm going to figure myself out, in the way we're going to give ourselves empathy. So this is a really cool show because we're not going about talking to somebody else. We're going to be talking to yourself. Figure that one out.
Yeah, the
But-
self.
Self-schmoozing.
Perfectly.
I like it. But we're also going to be self-schmoozing also, as our topic of the show is, of talking to ourselves. Now, we might not do it, that people can hear us. We might do it to ourselves. But the way we do it is really kind of cool because we're connecting with our needs. Needs are really, really important. It's nice to know what your feelings are, but how do you generate your feelings? Figuring it out. Do it by figuring out what your needs are. Your needs generate your feelings. So this is where we're going to go today.
I know, it's going to be so much fun. And let me share with them what you've been up to, Rick. For anybody that knows Rick yet, Rick Goodfriend has been teaching compassionate communication for over a decade. He teaches these skills and consciousness to individuals and businesses all over the world. He is also the founder of World Empathy Day, which is every Wednesday. And he has a great sense of humor. It is a day of increased consciousness for communication, compassion, forgiveness, and understanding. And Rick also sends out a lot of communication tips over the year each week to the worldwide participants. And his book, which he brought with us for tonight, is I Hear You But. Very, very touchy title there, to say the least.
What do you mean by that?
Now, wait a minute. It's full of 100 communication tips to make connections with others easier and way more effective. And with that being said, yes, that is the trick title, isn't it, Rick?
Well, okay, this is your first exercise for tonight. Back home, say, I hear you, but 5 times really fast. Okay. Okay, dingo. Okay, that's our first exercise for tonight. So let's fix that role play we did today because that was kind of important. And I was blowing bubbles. You weren't supposed to see that, but for some reason, our director Fred got me in doing that. So that was kind of fun. That was cool.
Yeah, we have fun with that all the time.
Yeah. So now when you see bubbles, you know where they're coming from. So
That bubble machine over there.
I tell you. So let's say, and we're going to do this a little bit later. You're going to have a chance to use these skills that I'm showing you and teaching you and sharing with you, because I use these skills a lot of times too to make decisions. So this is a great way to make a decision. And so my deal was, I was wondering, really, we were going to do a role play about the cars, about me buying a new car or keeping my old car. So how would I make a really great decision doing that? So the way I would do it, first of all, I want you to go, if you buy your computer, I want you to go to my website, rickgoodfriend.com, and on there is a values list. On the left side you go, and there's a values list. So if you have time right now, or maybe you're listening to this, and just pause this for a second, go to your computer and get this needs list here. It's a really kind of a cool list. So get this needs list, and you'll have a lot of opportunity and ammunition to make a decision, okay? So let's say I want to buy a car, but I like my old car, but it's costing me a lot of money. New transmission, new this, new that. And if I buy a new car, it's going to be new payments, and insurance might be above, it might be below. That's interesting too. So what we're going to do is draw a line, and I'll draw a line, say, new car, and then I'll draw another line, say, old car. New, old, okay? And on the new car, you say, well, what values would I be satisfying if I bought a new car? So if I bought a new car, which values would I be satisfying, do you think?
Well, definitely you would have trust that it would run okay, safety, trust.
Nice. And maybe it look good. Look better than my old car, because my old car's been dented and it's been hit and all that stuff. So new car would be classier, right? Cool. All right, let's see. Maybe, yeah, beauty. I would have more beauty. You know, people would say, wow, that guy's driving a brand new car. That's really kind of cool.
Safety, I love that.
Well, safety, yeah, in a new car, because my old car is kind of small. I just get backed into a lot of times. So,
Or cut off on the roadway.
okay, so that's a lot of, and color. How about color? I don't know what color I want. You tell me what color I should get. But, okay, maybe I just want a white car this time, because dark cars get hit all the time and smashed, and so I want a white car. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's go over to our old car. Now, first of all, financial responsibility. Well, it's not costing me anything in payments, yet it's costing me in repairs. And I never know what repairs are going to come up, right?
That's right.
And sometimes they're little repairs, sometimes they're big repairs. So I would put that on the side of the old car. Needs repairs. That's going to cost financial responsibility for me. Safety, no, because it's a small car getting wiped out. So, what else?
Oh, what about the speed issue? Speeding tickets? Because it seems to go faster than you're aware of.
Well, the old car goes slower than. Well, it depends. If I want, well, new cars are faster now, right?
Eventually.
Eventually, they're faster. I mean, the car I want to buy has a button. You press the button, and it's the speedy button. It makes you go a lot faster. Or you can press it the other way, it goes a lot slower. So speed won't be an issue, but in my old car, I can't really be speedy with that one anymore because who knows what's going to happen to it. So if I do need to speed, if I'm passing somebody, I don't have that either. Wow, I just sighed. Did you see that? I just connected with myself. I sighed and I think I'll buy a new car. I think it's worth it. You know, now that we look at this and we go, wow, there's more priorities and more better needs for the new car than for the old car.
That was a perfect example, being able to use the values to make a decision.
And there's other kind of values too. There's physical values that we have, you know, for, never mind that one, for safety, for shelter, for touch.
And response.
No response there. Anyways, that's one way of doing it. There might be, you might have another decision. I can't say that word tonight.
It's all right.
Decision. And let's say I'm going with a girl, I'm going with somebody, and it's not working out. So do I want to break up with this person? Or do I want to keep going with the flow and seeing if things work out? So again, you would take a sheet of paper, right? What would you put on one side? Stay. And the other side, you would put go.
Should I stay or should I go?
Great. So that's the thing. If I stay, you know, what's going to be happening? Well, is my need for cooperation going to be met? Well, maybe not. If I go, my need for cooperation would probably be met. I get to meet new people and talk to them. And then another thing is meeting new people, connecting with new people. That might be kind of hard. You know, I don't need to connect with another person because I already have a girlfriend. So I put that under girlfriend stay, because that's not going to happen so quickly if I go. Does this make sense?
I'm beginning to get warmed up to it. So she does have some needs and qualities, I'm guessing, that you enjoy.
Yeah, and my girlfriend, she cooks well. So my need for food is definitely being met because I don't cook very well. So if I go, I'm going to be eating at fast food places. But if I stay, my food is going to be really great because she's a good cook. Wow. At first I said, yeah, I should just go, get out of here. But food is becoming a really important need for me right now. So what else? Sleep. I'm used to sleeping with somebody. My girlfriend, okay. If I go, I don't have anybody really to sleep with. It's going to be empty, and I'll probably stay awake. But if I stay, there she is. So things are looking a lot better for me to stay.
Oh, that's good. And you enjoy her company, right?
Let's talk about company. Let's see. If I go, I might not have a lot of company because I'm a guy. So guys don't have a lot of friends all the time. And I've been around here for so long, my friends have gone. But if I stay, well, sometimes she's boring, but that's up to me to stimulate the conversation too. So how about communication too?
That's a big one.
A big one. Oh, yeah. So communication is on this needs list here. It's pretty big on. So if I stay, I have somebody to communicate with, and we're kind of like we get very deep sometimes. Have a nice communication. But if I go, then what happens? To get deeper with somebody, maybe I'll meet somebody on Facebook or something, but that doesn't mean very much. The relationships on Facebook aren't that great. So there was another sigh. So I think I'll stay with my girlfriend and work things out and use nonviolent communication too. But I need to do a lot of self-empathy to get my roots stronger too. So that's another part of this, is that it's up to me to be in this relationship too. And maybe I can talk to her and figure some things out, because she might be bored too. So maybe by really using our communication skills and really getting closer to her, we can make it better, make it bigger, and
That's right. Add some more excitement to it.
Yeah,
it
I'm even
like.
thinking about marriage maybe.
Well,
Wow.
that's exciting.
That's so see how doing this, connecting with our needs, gets my brain going. So instead of talking to somebody else and figuring out what they're wanting, what they're needing, I'm doing it for myself and trying to figure out myself. What am I needing? What am I wanting right now? Whew, another sigh. This is probably a really good show, you know.
Well, that makes a big difference. Once you are committed and you're comfortable in the relationship and you can spice it up, that'll be fun for you. You can take those bubbles and go have some fun.
Yeah, I take him to the park, and who knows? Maybe a new friend will come. That's so. That's how self-empathy works too. More ideas and happen. So, but I think I'll stay with my girlfriend for right now. It's easier too, probably, than being out in that big bad world, you know.
Comfortable. You have ease, familiarity. You've shared a lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired just thinking about. Well, in a way, I'm more energized thinking about my needs, my values. So it kind of gives me a lot more energy too by doing this.
So you're excited now to stay with her.
Yeah, I'm more excited now than before. Before I was wondering, what should I do? Should I go? Should I stay? You know, blah, 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 this and that. And I wasn't getting anywhere. But now, after using these values, these needs, what would be met and not be met, wow, energized, energy.
There you go.
So, anyways, we'll do this a little bit later in the show where you'll make a decision. Think about a decision you want to make, whether you want to do this or you want to do that, and we'll work with you on the show and try to figure it out for you, and we'll see what happens. So we're going to do something. Marshall Rosenberg, we always play a clip of him, and he's the founder of Nonviolent Communication. You talked about that earlier, Gigi. And a lot of stories with him, you know, that we had. And he passed away a couple weeks ago. And I didn't think I would miss him that much, but I really do. I miss his stories, and just even going to YouTube and watching him on a video. And you know, I still get a lot of inspiration from him.
Absolutely.
So we're going to play Marshall Rosenberg and a little clip from him, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Marshall?
Yes.
I'm over here. My son brought me to one of your seminars, and I met you some 10 years ago
Yes.
in Oakland.
Yes.
Now I'm trying to bring my son back to come here. And he said last night when I told him I was coming here, he said, well, why don't you go? I have a couple of appointments. Maybe you could teach me something. So I thought I would come to learn something. Maybe I can teach him. But I'd like to teach him, and I don't know how to do that.
Well,
I'd like to teach him to at least give me the time of day to communicate with him. He doesn't do that willingly. Okay. And when I try to demand it, it becomes worse.
Yes.
So how do I do that?
Well, that'll be a good situation to work on today, because I'm going to ask everyone to think of a situation right now where somebody's behaving in a way you don't like. So in this case, it's your son who, when you ask him to communicate, he says no. The first thing I'll suggest is you can't teach anybody anything.
That's right.
And to have that as an objective is itself to create problems. So,
Yeah.
so let's change the objective. Let's never try to teach anybody anything or to change anybody. If that's your objective, you'll create resistance. So that'd be my first suggestion today. Never try to teach anybody anything or to change anybody. That clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you do then? Give up?
No. See, this is the thinking that's been shaped in us by Jackal. See, the game of who's right, win, lose. So then if we can't change and win, then the option we think of is to be a chump and lose, you see. We've been educated to think in those two ways, win, lose, right, wrong. No, I'll show you a way, another option. Okay, let's get into it. Let's give you a chance to practice it. Some of you have already thought of situations, such as somebody you want very much to communicate with, they say no. So, think of somebody at the moment who is behaving in a way that is not making life wonderful for you, and you'd like to get to the place that the song was about, where everybody's needs can get met and people are giving to one another from the heart, willingly, not out of coercion, you see. Let's see if we can show you a process to get there in this situation, to get everybody's needs met, and where people give willingly, not out of any coercion. So maybe you are living at home. Maybe you choose today to work on a child that you are living with at home who says horrible, horrible jackal things such as, no. Oh, you laugh. You try living with one for a while. Please brush your teeth. No. Maybe you are living at home with a jackal-speaking partner who says horrible jackal things such as, that hurts me when you say that. We'll see today that it's a violent act to say others make you feel as you do. See? To imply that others can make you feel hurt or angry. Maybe at work somebody's behaving in a way you don't like. They come late. They're not producing as well as you would like. Maybe your next door neighbor has been sexually molesting children. Whoever you want to pick, somebody who's behaving in a way you don't like. And you'd like to see how we would arrive at the objective of creating the quality of connection that will get everybody's needs met through natural giving. That's our objective. Okay? Now, open up your materials to the last page, second to the last page. At the top it says, expressing how we are and what we would like.
Cool. So that was Marshall Rosenberg. I guess he was talking about expressing. And you have any memories about Marshall?
You know, I have a great memory about Marshall. Well,
Really?
several. I definitely miss his presence and his sense of humor and knowledge. But the one thing I really enjoyed was when he did come and he was on our show. And it was a rainy night. He was doing our intensive training, international intensive training up here in Montecito area. And he came down to be on the show, and he was just so knowledgeable and so serious and getting out all the information that just thrilled me, of not being in judgments, just accepting, loving, and really being present in the moment. And so that particular night, I just really enjoyed his humor, his intellect once again, and the way that he did express and did not judge anybody. It just made everybody in the studio feel light and accepted for who they are, our unique individual selves. It was really cool. And that's like one of my greatest memories, of just having Marshall next to me, like, yes, go
I remember
Marshall.
that night. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and his, I think he had somebody else with him too, or he brought somebody, but my memory was that the first time I walked in, and everybody's yelling at each other, and people are leaving and stuff, and I just went from the back of the room the way I was. I just yelled from the back of the place, and there were like 400 people there. And I go, "What's wrong with you?" He goes, "What?" I go, "What's wrong with you? Get your class in order." And he goes, "That's not a strategy." I go, "What?" And then he decides to take a break. I brought this up several times to him afterwards when we became friends and everything. And he goes, "Yeah, that's, when you're doing workshops, you got to try different things to teach the group. And that was not a great thing to teach at that time."
There we go.
So that was kind of cool, just to see his honesty too, how honest he was, and to me, and he got me going with World Empathy Day, and that was kind of cool. Where I went up to him and I said, you know, I'm doing workshops in town and stuff. He goes, well, that's not enough. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I want you to do something worldwide. I want you to do something really big and get this message out. And so I started World Empathy Day after thinking about this for a few times. And now it's a few thousand people are getting my tips every Wednesday. And it's pretty cool. In fact, I got a letter from somebody that gets my tips. And his name's Jim. He lives in Vancouver, Canada. And my tips go all around the world. It's really kind of cool. And so he says to me, I've been facilitating an NBC practice group in Vancouver, Canada for about 4 years now, which is pretty good, I think. And I've read your book and continue to get your newsletters and tips and have collected many of them over the years or brought them to the practice group or as part of an evening. Last night, I collected 10 of your exercises together, and we went through 5 of them during the course of 2.5 hours with different participants leading us through. From mourning to gratitude to self-appreciation, it was a great evening. I wanted to thank you for the creativity, inspiration, and clarity I've experienced in working with your tips. Ooh, that's pretty heavy, because this was a great appreciation using nonviolent communication, where he used the needs that I met for him of clarity and inspiration, creativity, and that just brought my self-esteem up and up and up. And this was a couple weeks ago, and it's still up. So pretty cool.
That's really great. And I know you get a lot of that feedback, which inspires you to continue on with appreciation. And look what Fred put up there. Hey, how about that? Isn't that perfect? Imagine that. A place where if you can accept and love and appreciate the other person, hey, it may come back.
Perfect. Look for the good in people. It may help them to find the good in you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Ashley. And
Ashley, brilliant.
Yes.
He's a Santa Barbara treasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day putting that out. That is awesome. Very meaningful.
Very cool. And so I offer my gratitude to Marshall too, because he's changed my life. You know, people say you've changed a lot, and I used to be very vocal in getting upset and things like that, and using self-empathy and different things like that Marshall taught us, and also other trainers taught me, just slowed things down, slowed my listening down, which is really kind of cool. Because I want to, somebody says something and I might get irritated about what they're saying, and before I say something, I go, wait 5 seconds, 5 minutes, wait 5 minutes. And I think about the needs that were not met by what they said, of my needs. And in 5 minutes, if I want to say anything, it's totally different than what I was going to say in the beginning. Because now I've connected my needs with my needs for like honesty and belonging and just thinking it through what this person might have said. So it's kind of a cool way to go around life using self-empathy. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But I wanted you to work this exercise that I just did with my car, whether I want a new car or keep my old car. So let's work with your exercise for a second, and let's try this out. First thing I want you to write down on top of the piece of paper whether, two decisions you want to make, okay? I want to go this way, or I want to go that way. So you figure out the decision you want to make, okay? And then draw a line down the center, and we're going to put our values and our needs down that center line. So on the first line, place your values and your needs that would be satisfied, okay? So use that list. Go to my website, rickgoodfriend.com. On the left side is your values list. So you want to print that out if you can, okay? And on the second side is the other decision, which way you want to go with that. What needs would be met if you went with that decision, okay? So do that for a second or two. And sometimes I'd take 20 minutes to do this. So you just have a few seconds because we're on TV right now, okay? All right? So what you're going to look at is both sides and decide which needs really jump out at you, which are really important. And that's your decision, really, where you can go and really make a worthwhile decision that's going to help you and really keep you going and happier.
Yeah, it's a nice little quiz, no matter what's going on. An emotion, a purchase, a situation, relationship, so many different things that you can apply it for. I think it's a good judgment call there.
Yeah. Like, I was just thinking about a decision now. Should I go out to dinner with you guys after the show or not? So,
What needs would be met, Rick?
I don't know. Going out with you guys, well, okay, going out, I would meet my need for humor and fun, entertainment, food. Not going out, I would get my need for sleep met, but who needs sleep, right?
Occasionally, we do.
Maybe rest, but I'll get rest done later. I'll go out to dinner with you guys after this. This is great.
Yay.
So that's a quick way of doing it. And not going with feelings. Well, I feel bad if I do that. I feel good if I do this. Don't go with feelings. Feelings are just 10% of the connection of your decision. 90% is dealing with your values and your needs. So that's how important that is. When you're doing empathy, self-empathy, it's another thing of just connecting. You might go into we call it Jackal show. Just beating yourself up, beating other people up, saying, they didn't do that, they should have done this, they should have done that. That's good. You might say, what? I say, that's good. Beat up yourself, beat up somebody else, but don't stop there, like most people do. They stop. But there's the other parts. You want to go into your feelings, your needs, and your requests. So that's pretty cool. You want to do that real quick?
Yeah, the observation of what's going on. How are you judging that?
I'm judging it really good. I'm thinking about my car. I go, geez, it was getting it into a parking space tonight was really hard. I had to go in and go out, go in and go out. I was getting really frustrated. So that's my observation. What was happening is a fact, okay? Whether somebody says something, that's a fact, okay?
Exactly.
It's 10 words or less. It's not a long thing that you get into. Next, we go into our feelings. I said what? Frustrated.
Frustrated.
It just popped out, just came out. Wow. What other feelings would come out? What other feelings you think I was having?
Overwhelmed. Well, hopefully what you really needed, the next one, was ease.
Ease, that's it.
Safety, ease.
So we went with feelings, but see how Gigi went and said, well, I got my feelings out, but needs are really being generated. So Gigi went right into her values and her needs. And that was really important. And ease, yeah, I wish it was a lot easier. And maybe as I drive, oh, now I'm going to strategy. And strategy is to meet my needs. So my need for ease, well, maybe my strategy might be drive a little bit slower, getting into the parking spot and aiming a little bit better. You know?
Practice.
Practicing, yeah, after all these years. I got a new car, by the way. I did buy a new car. And so I need to practice because it's a little bit bigger car.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you for that help.
So we just went through the process of simple little questions, and the clarity comes actually practically automatic when we go through this.
Yeah, so let me repeat what I did. I got my observation. I can't get my car into the parking lot, and geez, they should have made this car smaller. And what's wrong with me? I can't even get, do this right. So that's my observation. Okay, we call it the Jackal Show. Jackal is what?
The jackal's into blame, shame, right, wrongs, goods, bads, judgments, just anger, frustration, all the things
Yes.
where we don't want to be.
So we're translating, we're in that Jackal Show, and we're going to translate it into giraffe. And giraffe is functional communication, using our feelings and our needs. Again, the feelings, 10%, but we will really want to get into our values, our needs, and figure out what we're trying to get satisfied. And then we go into the, what? I forgot.
A request, a
request.
strategy that's doable to get the needs met
Right.
at not anyone else's expense or for manipulation.
Oh, let's talk about manipulation.
Ooh, is the jackal talking now or the giraffe?
As a educator,
Okay.
which can be a jack or a giraffe.
Gosh.
Either.
Well, the jackal takes a lot of energy, but the jackal is somebody that's always blaming and judging and going for the throat of another person. They should have, rights, wrongs, and gosh, above and beyond. They tend to even enjoy watching someone getting punished because they should have done something differently.
Yeah, I guess I call it dysfunctional communication.
Yes, but very familiar communication, unfortunately.
Yes, too familiar. So what we want to do is translate that into the giraffe. And we use the giraffe symbol because giraffe has the largest heart of any land animal. It eats thorns, so it can hear things and not get so triggered. So it can stay in that giraffe mode and not go into jackal mode. So we want to get into that giraffe as soon as we can. And that's kind of what happens to me is when I go into a jackal mode, by using the jackal and getting all that stuff out, all that talk out, now I go naturally into my needs. What needs am I trying to get met? So it's kind of interesting that I've trained myself and I've trained other people to be able to go from that jackal mode to beating myself up to getting my needs met, figuring out what my needs are.
A more enjoyable life to contribute to our collective consciousness, more peace.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's really a gift. I'm glad you do all of your workshops and you help people with that transformation factor because, hey, nobody can beat themselves up better than we can with our thoughts. And so, therefore, this is really important to be able to get beyond that and to focus on the power points and the needs that we really need and that other people are struggling to get. And to also, no matter what's coming at you, remember that basically what we're saying is please and thank you. it's not that clear, we have to kind of keep in that giraffe consciousness to hear it.
Yeah, I remember a time we were having dinner and with our producer, and do you remember that?
Which one?
No, a long time ago, and when our show was, well, it was kind of a dysfunctional show way back when, but I'd been on TV like every week, like you have been for what, 10 years? Amazing. But and I came up to Gigi, I go, I can't stand this, I can't take this anymore. Something, this is happening or that's happening. And then I think you got jackaled. We were both in this jackal state, and our poor producer is sitting there not knowing what to do because we're communication experts. And finally I got down to my knees. I go, oh, I just translated all that jackal stuff into giraffe. I go, oh yeah, I'm needing just some space right now, some time off. That's what I want, Gigi, is some time off. How do you feel about that? And then Gigi was still in her jackal state, but I was able to be in that empathy state now because I had translated myself. So you were saying, well, I do this show every week, you do this show every week, and we get tired, and oh yeah, I'm just, well, I'm needing some space too. Maybe we both need space from each other or something like that. And I go, yeah, that's what it is. You're right. And so now we're both into offering each other empathy. It's kind of cool. Now we're in that giraffe state, in the giraffe mode, and we came off with a great solution. And just solution came off really easy. Instead of the old days, I would have just walked out or something. But we came up with a nice solution. And the solution comes last. It always comes last. Usually we express our solutions fast, but in nonviolent communication, it comes last. Because we're thinking more, we're opening up, or we're getting what we need to talk about out. We're connecting with our values and our needs. So
That was really great.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that was our producer having a jackal meltdown, right?
Yeah, I don't think he got out of that. But we came out pretty good.
Yeah, he gave us a lot of opportunities to practice nonviolent
Yes.
communication.
Yes, that was the good old days.
Yes, absolutely.
But that was how we use nonviolent communication in our regular life. And it took a while. It took a while longer for me, I think, than you. You're natural. But it took me a while to figure this all out.
So what is your biggest challenge now when a jackal is coming at you?
Geez, I don't know. It's just to translate what they're saying, what they're talking about, into giraffe. It takes, some people never shift. Some people shift in a moment. It depends on that practice, on my practice. So now I can shift really quick and offer that person empathy first to really focus on what they're saying and what they want to say, what they need to say. And they might not be in an empathy mode, in a functional mode, but I'm translating what they're saying into an empathic mode. I'm making them feel more functional. And eventually, they'll calm down. They'll be cool.
So you're giving them understanding, you're listening to what is alive in them, and
it's
in
healing.
the meantime, you're in that place where you're present and open for them to be heard, usually.
Yeah, but I'm not done yet. Then it's my turn.
Ta-da.
After I hear them, I understand them, then it's my turn. I might ask them, I might, to go into my mode where I'm going to focus on me. I'll ask them, is there any more you want to say? I'll stay with that, focusing on them. And then I'll give them appreciation no matter what they say to me. I'll say, I appreciate your openness, that you're so honest to me. Thank you for that. So those honesty and openness are values on that list.
And I like the fact that even during the Jackal show, that you can appreciate that they are speaking up, even though it may be a hard to hear message.
Yeah, and I might be giving myself empathy while they're talking. I might say, God, I wish they would just shut up already. But I'm doing that in my mind, and I go, yeah, I want to be heard too. So I'll wait. So I'm doing that in my mind while they're talking. So there's a lot going on. That's why I need to be in practice groups and the practices. So it's really important. But then I express, and I say, well, you said this, and I'm not really happy about that right now, but how do you feel about that now? And I put the focus back on them after I express myself. And what happens is, it's kind of cool, is they usually apologize. They've changed, they've been heard, they've been listened to, they've been valued, and they're ready now to listen to me. If I go right into, well, forget what you're saying, let me talk about me, they're not going to hear that until what? They've been heard.
That's a huge point right there.
Yeah.
It is a gift to be able to listen without judging and really focusing on what's going on in their heart.
Yeah.
I love that little thing. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about needs being
Amen.
met.
Amen, amen, amen. It's not about feelings. It's really about your values, your needs being met. That's why it's so important to, print that out, that needs list, and put it down by your telephone. And whoever you're talking to, just think about, wow, I wonder what they're wanting, what they're needing. Oh, they're needing more trust. Oh, I might even say that. I said, so are you needing more trust? And that's how I respond, offering empathy to them. And they'll go, yeah, I want more trust, yes. And that just slows their thinking down. And it's kind of pretty cool about how we do that.
And I think there's a huge part of it on another level, even after people have been heard for whatever is going on alive in them, that's part of the healing, to get that deep understanding without being judged, but to really be exposed like that and understand, because, hey, feelings are fickle. We all have played with the emotions of our feelings, for sure.
Yeah. In fact, if, let's say you're feeling down or bad, or I'm feeling bad, I go, well, I'm feeling depressed right now. Wow, I wonder what I would like to have met, what need. Oh, maybe my need for rest, relaxation, and yeah. So right there, I just shifted. Here I'm depressed, but right then I translated that into what needs would I want to have met. I go, wow, rest, relaxation. Maybe I want to go get a massage. That sounds good. That's a strategy. So we use that observation, feelings, needs, requests. I call it Offner, O-F-N-R. And that's how we get Offner. In my workshops, I talk about that more. But that's kind of a cool way to remember what to use, especially if I'm expressing myself. I use that observation, feelings, needs, request. Boom. I mean, all the way down the line right there. So.
Well, I sure appreciated the fact that we went through this and we really stayed with the self-talk and even being able to focus and open up with the other people and how, like the speed of light, we get to the needs.
You got into that self-schmoozing. That's good. It's hard to say that. Say that about 5 times. Self-schmoozing, never mind. But it's hard to do that.
We were tested before the show. Say it 3 times in a row.
I like self-smooching too. That's harder to say.
It is.
It's like, anyways,
I know. Well, we spelled it right finally.
yeah. So,
Well, thank you, Rick. It's really been a delight and a lot of information for people to be able to get into touch with themselves and have a more wonderful life. That's huge.
yeah, this was a great show, I think. I'm glad I did it. I'm going to have to replay it a few times just to get
Note
into
to
that.
self.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, well, now I'd just like to reflect on some announcements. We do celebrate Rick's World Empathy Day, which is every Wednesday. You can go to rickgoodfriend.com and you can sign up for some free communication tips each week. And you can contact Rick at 805-453-3524. And also, he's got an upcoming workshop again, Center of the Heart, Effective Communication, Sunday, March 22nd, coming right up. It starts promptly at 1:30 in the afternoon till 3:30. And the contact number for this is 805-964-4861. And here, we are live every Tuesday night from 8 till 9, and also Saturday at 8 a.m., Thursdays 3 in the afternoon, Fridays at 7 in the morning. Several surprising times. We're happily going into our 10th year, and we're really pleased and appreciative of those that express enjoyment and really having an understanding of the basics of this show, which is to communicate in a way that is heartfelt for all people. And if you do have some questions, challenges, concerns in your personal life, we'd really be interested, as usual, in hearing from you. And that would be at Gigi Amour at cox.net. Love all of that information that comes by. And contact number 805-698-8233. And our website, you can check out some of your favorite guests, compassionateconnection.tv. Next week, we'll have with us Susan Allen, life coach, and a special thank you to a very special sponsor, Salon D, a hot spot here in Santa Barbara for hair, makeup, and beauty needs. Thank you, Debbie. You're awesome on all levels. And here in the studio, special thank you to Matt, Mark, so many others. We're in such gratitude for their support and contribution to our show over the years. And our personal TV team, our director, Fred Winter, condone the show.
Yay, Fred.
We love you, Fred. Tyler Geck, audio support, emotional support. Yes, we're very blessed. And for our viewing audience, wishing you permanent, continuous, countless, and inescapable compassionate connection.